And now we get to work. Bada bada ba ba bada bow. Bada bow 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 bada ba ba bow. Ba bada ba ba bow. Ba bada ba ba bow. If in case you're wondering, my name is Soren Caster, and currently I am working on more secret projects. Will I be able to tell you guys what they are? Maybe in time. But for the moment, who cares? Just relax with me. Do some working yourself. Let's have some talking. Let's chat. I know talking and working probably isn't the most productive thing in the world, but who knows? Might keep your mind off of the more darker aspects of our minds. Sorry, I really don't know where I was going with that, but hey, how are you guys doing? My name's Soren Caster, and we are back on the train to nowhere. So enjoy the ride while it lasts, and let's just enjoy each other's company as we both work, because that's what productive members of society tend to do. Like that. Looks good. Okay, what if I use a little bit of that? I don't know where it is. Oh, okay, let's see. It's in outline. Got it. And taken care of. Oh, that looks good. I really like how that turned out. Man. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You know, a part of me does wonder why streamers... Oh, hi, Lieb. How are you doing? Welcome to your regularly unscheduled save point. At the moment, I am just kind of working on some things. Nothing I can really show off for now, but want to stream. Good and you? Yeah, I'm doing alright. Have to be a bit quieter because, you know, public transportation, and it's late at night over here. You know, kind of hanging out. Why be alone with my own thoughts when I can be alone with other people? Just getting a bit of work done. I have a tablet in my hands that no one can see, but, you know. Might be a bit quieter this time around. But I'll try to chat in when I have the time, when I can. Hope you guys don't mind. What work? Some secret projects for streaming. So I'm doing a little bit of art here, a little bit of OBS work, OBS messing around, tinkering, as people call it. Over here. Just making sure everything looks neat and tidy. And also, neat and tidy for the people who will be having to look at this later. I don't want to make a mess. I don't want this to look messy for other people's eyes who will be having to look at this. But know that it is a work for the stream in the nearby future. Oh, thank you for the follow. Sorry, hold on. Thank you for the follow, Ivy VTuber. Hello, VTuber. Hello. I hope you're doing well. How goes your night? Or morning? Or afternoon? This is a save point. Hi, my model's so cool. Thank you so much. I never know what to say in this situation. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Welcome to your regularly unscheduled save point, which is more or less just a free talk. So, feel free to say or not say as much as you want. We're just all here for some chill vibes. Especially today, since I'm kind of working right now. But I can't stay away from streaming. Oh. Why not work with people in the background, asking me things, distracting me? I don't see any other way to work, if you ask me. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da. Ba-da-bow. Ba-ba-ba-do. Ba-da-ba-bow. Ba-da-bow. Ba-da-bow. Ba-da-ba-bow. Bow-bow-bow. I really hope my music's actually on. You guys can hear it, right? I'm not just humming nonsense, right? You know, let's just hope for the best. Yeah, we can hear it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Ivy. There we go. Thank you. I actually was getting a bit thirsty, so, that works out. So right now, I'm just kind of working on some art for a future stream, let's say. Could be Kid Icarus. Could be anything. Point is, I'm also hitting a bunch of Control S, make sure I don't lose all of my progress, which is kind of the point of these streams. Everyone, relax. Just think of this as your break from reality. Your break from the hard day at work. Or at home. Or at school. Just relax. Take a minute to draw yourself. Or, you know, draw for yourself, not... You don't have to draw yourself, personally. Yeah, some relax and chill. Because we're all in need of some relax and chill every now and then. Oh, wrong layer. Not too relaxed, though. Otherwise, you'll draw on the wrong layer for hours and have to redo all of your hard work. Because you couldn't be bothered to look at the layer names because you didn't name your layers to begin with. Now you find yourself in a pickle. In a pickle. You're having the bad Sunday feels where you dread the start of the work week. Oof. Feel that, Ivy. Sundays are always weird like that because they are technically, you know, still a free day for most people. You think they call it Sunday Scaries or something? Yeah, I think they do. Not with people around here, though. Yeah, it's like, you know, they're still a free day of the week, you know? But because they're the last free day of the week, the weekend, you just end up dreading them about as much as any Monday or Tuesday. Sunday spookies. I like that actually. I might use that. I don't know what it is about Sundays. Because once Monday rolls around, I'm just kind of over it, you know? Like, okay. I guess I gotta give up. Guess I must submit. I guess I must submit to the work week. That's where this kind of stream comes in, because I'm working right now, so I'm dodging it entirely. What is there to talk about? What has been going on recently that I can bring up? I'm trying to think of things that have, like, super interested me in the last few days. Let's see. Things of note. That Mario soccer game came out. Strikers is back. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I had those games when I was a kid, but I never super, like... No, I did super get into it, but, you know, it's been so long. Like, does nostalgia hold up? I don't know. Oh, the soccer game... Oh, is it not out? I saw some footage of it, but I didn't know if it was out or if it was, like, just preview footage. It could have been preview footage. I know it's coming out this month, but not when. I saw some, victory animations for that game, which were always kind of the highlight of the previous ones, because then you got to see some Mario characters acting very, like, very aggressive, because, you know, soccer. I don't actually know what soccer has to do with being aggressive, but it's just kind of what I've seen. Whenever I pass by the game section, the sports game section at my local game store. Okay, it's next month. Never mind. Thank you. Thank you for the correction, Ivy. I'm so bad with dates. It must have been preview footage then. Because I saw, like, a match. It was a French commentator. And it was a match. And I saw the victory animations for, Peach, Rosalina, Mario, and Bowser. Whenever they, like, get a score, right? Get a goal. You've never played any of those games, but you're probably gonna get it. You know, it seems like it'd be a fun game. I know a lot of people have some problems with more recent Mario sports titles, but, you know, people still find fun with them, yeah. I'm sure it will be serviceable, if at the bare minimum. Like, those games always look so good. I've been a fan of their art style ever since I was young. Like the Mario Golf game that came out recently is one of your favorites now. Oh, I see. The one where everyone can like run to the next hole. That seemed fun. I wanted to get to it. And now that Koopa's in it, I might actually get to it now. Oh, sorry. I wanted to thank some previous subscribers because I missed them. I totally just forgot that they had followed me. I want to thank Cryptid404 for following me. Thank you, Cryptid. Or 404, I think you like to be called. And thank you, Supersized Squid Girl. The chances of either of you being here right now are probably really low, but I just want to have it recorded for posterity's sake. Thank you, I appreciate it. You like playing the normal mode the most. Speedy golf is spooky. Yeah, I guess I can see that. Hectic, chaotic, even. I'm holding my tablet pen backwards. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. I can't show you guys what I'm working on, but just know that I'm very proud right now. What else is out? Proud boy. I'm indeed a proud boy. Oh, I'm gonna be even more proud when I can finally actually show you guys, but gotta keep it under wraps for now. Sorry for teasing you guys so much. It's just, I'm happy. I've also been watching some more Ranking of Kings. Or Osama Ranking, as most people probably call it. I don't know. It's really good. It's still really good. I know I'm so late to the party. Ah, my leg's asleep. My leg's asleep. Ah, ah, ah. Okay, okay, alright, alright, ow, ow. It's not like it's painful, it's just weird. Okay. Okay, I think it's past for now. I guess another question I have for you guys is, does my voice sound okay right now? I messed around with my settings. I'm not really sure if it was for the better or for the worse. And I'm not talking about, like, how I sound in comparison to the music or anything else, just how do I sound personally? You need to watch that show. Also, am I good? Am I ever? No, I was just kind of resting. I'm, like, you know how it is on public transportation. You have relax a little, and then all of a sudden you can't feel your legs because it's all shaky. Oh, there we go. I'm better now. I'm totally fine. Sound fine? Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry, Lieb. I have this muted. That's why. Ah, where'd it go? There it is. Quick question for you guys. When it comes to characters, what is your favorite eye color and hair color combination? Like with fictional characters, or could be real people too. I don't know. Let's stick with real. Let's stick with fictional. Just because I feel like we have a larger variety with fictional people and VTubers. Sorry, I should probably, you know, account for those. Account for us. I ask because I've been thinking about it recently, and I do have an affinity for purple, as you can obviously tell, but that might be a bit biased. Everyone in my family has purple hair. Or, in that ballpark, I guess. I've just been inclined to purple. But I also enjoy every other color. Not that I can really think of any particular ones as of right now, for any particular reasons. But I'm just always curious as to why people like what they like. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. Alright. Cool, 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 cool. Hmm. So I feel like whenever I think of, like, eye colors, my immediate thought goes to kind of the more exotic ones, like green or yellow. And for really dumb reasons. I go for green, it is most definitely because of Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to be a big Sonic kid when I was, well, a kid. I feel like that art style, like the whole Sega look in general, from, well, Sonic, of course, but also like Jet Set Radio, which I haven't actually played. I just have been around, as well as... Is it Billy the Hatcher or is it Billy Hatcher? I keep forgetting. It's Billy Hatcher. I've always been such a sucker for Sega's kind of look, you know? Which, eventually led me to... eventually led me to Capcom art, which itself is, really stunning. A lot of the older stuff, too. Beyond, I'm okay. A bit tired, but I need to get this stuff worked on, so I need to keep awake. I need to stave off any amount of tiredness I have, at least for a little bit. Gotta get those training muscles exercised, gotta get them active, stretched out. Otherwise, I'm just rotting away, and I've done a lot of rotting lately. Let me tell you, it's not fun. Another yawn. It's fine. Fine. Alright. I have been in a weird place lately where I'm not sad, I'm not depressed. Well, I guess I'm not as well, I'm not more or less depressed than the majority of people nowadays. But I've had a real weird desire to like just weep, like just start bawling, crying. No particular reason. Just to, you know, let some negative energy escape. But nothing's been making me like on the verge of crying other than Sky. Um Children of the Light. That one game. And even then, like once I start like getting teary-eyed in that game, that's usually when I start calling, like when I start calling it off, like I'm gonna stop playing this for the day because I'm gonna become a mess, which is entirely against what I'm trying to actually do. Like I want to have a big sob, just to remind myself I'm still alive. But no, it's hard to play video games with tears. Especially when someone's trying to actually talk to me in the game. So I don't know, I feel like I need to play something that will make me really sad. I'm not sure what to do. Or watch something. I haven't cried in a movie in a long time. Sometimes be like that to you? Yeah. Nothing wrong with a good cry every now and then. We are humans. We are capable of so many emotions. It only feels right that we feel majority of them, at least a bit of the time. Yo, Red. Hey, Derpy. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the work stream. The work save point stream. This is a train that goes to nowhere because I have taken it for myself and am using it for comfy stream setting. Hatch 2,500 Pokemon eggs. Jeez. You're on a roll, Derpy. This is for Dedenne, if I remember right. Nice. You're doing good. Almost finished a clip that will have to replace your third compilation. Replace? Oh, like going back to the drawing board because you made a new clip? Oh, that's perfect. Sorry, I'm looking at something I've done and I'm satisfied. Ah, that sounds so good. Okay. Yeah, you can't finish it by the 19th, it's too long. I see. Well, I wish you good luck on your editing adventures. It's been a while since I've done video editing. Maybe I should get back into it. I know a lot of people suggest VTubers kind of edit their own stuff and put it on YouTube. But I don't know. The sound of listening to my own voice is already enough to make me not want to do it. The one is almost finished. You think you only have 5 minutes left to edit. 5 minutes is quite a lot. Well, in terms of clips, it might be actually doable pretty quickly. You're right. Oh yeah, this is a clip of me. Oh, you're okay. I see. Filming other people is super fun though. I can only imagine how fun a compilation would be. What time is it? We've only been streaming for 30 minutes. I want to stream at least for an hour before I consider even going to bed. The clip is 56 minutes, so 5 minutes is a lot. That's fair. That's fair, Red. Oh, okay. We haven't really been doing much of anything here in this chat so far, the stream. I'm still just working on stuff myself. Occasionally asking the questions to, chat about random things that pop up in my head. My current question is, what is everyone's favorite hair color / eye color combo? Because I'm curious. I like knowing these things. I like knowing everyone's type, despite not really having much of a type of myself. Eyes or hair? Compilation you're guessing will be like 4 hours? It's a big boy. Purple hair. I'm sure on behalf of all purple-haired people. Thank you, Derpy. We appreciate it. You're gonna say green is pretty good, but you're kind of biased. I wonder why. But fair enough. What about eye colors? What eye colors do you guys like with your favorite hair colors? Oh, that looks so professional. Green and red combo can be interesting, and this time the red isn't because of bias. Fair enough. Green still is. Like, green and red, I'm trying to think of whenever that's come up. Your Pokemon of the day is Swinub. Time to wait another 24 hours for it to change to get the Pokemon you want. Pokemon of the day? What is that? Is that like lottery? If this is a new mechanic, I think I'm unfamiliar with it. Green and red is like Sakaki Yuya. Sakaki Yuya. Who is that? Sakaki Yuya. Oh, right, Duel Links. Or, well, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry, I associate him with Duel Links because... Well, I associate most things with Duel Links nowadays. Or, what's the new one? Duel something or another. I like his hair. Is this the tomato boy I've heard so much about? Master Duel, that's the one. In Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you can get swarm Pokemon, and the swarms change every day. I see. The Killer Tomato. Is he, is this one the Performapals guy? Yeah, it's him. I've heard good things about him. I hear people really like him. Gonna release 500 to Dene. The Swarm. Unleash the Swarm. Yeah, I really enjoy this guy's hair. Wonder why. Maybe a bit of bias myself. The Yu characters tend to have pretty good hair. We're gonna hit an hour, and that's when I will finally allow myself to go to bed. And by then, I won't be sleepy. I won't be tired at all. Just you watch. But you're right. You're right, Red. That is a good combo. Though I'm hesitant to call his hair green. At the very least, entirely green. You just pulled 2 all-nighters with this clip? I don't know if I'm built like that, though. His hair is red and green with red eyes, so it's okay. It's okay, fine. Fair. I'll give you that. Oh, that's something I can talk about. I watched Super Eye Patch Wolf's latest video about the Shonen Jump, and that was fascinating. He basically, for those of you guys who don't know, Super Eye Patch Wolf is a YouTuber. Just a YouTuber, not a VTuber. Who does, he used to be an anime YouTuber, but has kind of stretched out into more of his own thing. Still anime, of course, but occasionally can go into wrestling or just whatever catches his interest at the time, horror. And he does a kind of annual video series about the state of Shonen Jump magazine and what series are popular, what newcomers might have a chance, paying respects to the fallen and whatnot. And I think the big trend recently is a lot of online manga. Like, on Jump's online service. So things like a Spy Family, which has gotten an anime recently and is super popular. And how that's kind of like changing the landscape of manga as we know it. And I'm excited. The odds of getting a shiny in the newer Pokemon games is one. Oh, that's like not half. No, is it half? I think it's half. That's like half of what it used to be, right? Or around there. Or like double, I guess. Sorry. Yeah, it's half. Okay. I was like, that's a very specific number. Why do I know that number? I used to shiny hunt myself a long time ago. But then I got way more into IVs, which is a dangerous rabbit hole you don't want to get into. You literally have. Okay, nice. Bow, 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 ba da ba bow, bow, ba da bow, ba da ba bow, bow, ba da ba bow, 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 ba da ba bow. Da-do. Do-do-do. Do 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 do. Bow 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 bow. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. We can leave it there for now. Okay. I'm still not entirely sure about my art style. I like my art. I'm never consistent with it, but I feel like every artist says that. I'm not sure if other people would like my art, but I like my art. It takes me forever to get something simple like a headshot. A bust shot. But, and, you know, color theory is kind of thrown out the window whenever I do stuff. But I don't know, I feel like I'm finally at a place where I can just look at it and be, like, satisfied. You sure my art is good? Thank you, Red. I appreciate it. I think it's... I don't think it'd be hubris to say I think my art is good too. Well, I'm gonna say I find it decent. I think I'm still far away from, like, what I want to be, but I'm getting closer. Not sure if I drew my model. No, well, it was kind of a half and half between me and, Kite Quaro. I basically showed them how I looked, and, like, well, I drew a picture of how I looked to them, sent it to them, and and then they came up with the rest. Well, I play the newer Pokemon games. Probably Scarlet and... What's the other one? Indigo? Purple? Actually, what is it? Let's look. Violet. I might play Violet. Or Scarlet. I'm associated with both purple and red, so I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to myself if I didn't play either of them. But I don't know if I'm gonna get, you know, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I never really had much of an attachment to those games. Well, I played a decent amount of them back when I was younger, but I'm more of a Gen 5 guy. Oh, the Grass Kitty. I know. Looks so good. I don't know which one of the three I want yet, though. Like, all of them look pretty good. The duck, or the pepper. I'd be fine with any of them at this point. Yeah, I don't know which one I want at this point. They all look really nice. You probably wait for the final evolutions to be revealed. I feel like I've been pretty good about avoiding looking at those. So I'm always, like, surprised whenever the last evolution happens in-game for me. Because I picked Chespin for X and Y. Because I actually did like Chespin's design at first. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people hated Chespin by the end of that game. I love Chestnut. Like a big, beefy knight. I know it's surprising to see, yeah, but you don't want to be left disappointed with the final evolution. It's the fun part. Like, whether or not you're impressed with it or not, I don't know. I don't think I've been disappointed with the final evolution in quite some time. Let's see. I got Samurott in black and white, still pretty good design. I still like Samurott. Um, Chestnut. Yep. Okay. Incineroar. I really like Incineroar. Actually, I can't lie. I think I like the idea of a heal in Pokemon. So that's kind of it's pretty good to me. Um, I still don't actually really know the Sword and Shield evolutions. I don't really know which one I like the most. I like the bunny, but I like rabbits in general, so you know. Incineroar is the reason why you don't pick starters based on the first evolution. I don't know. I feel like Incineroar, like okay, fine. Decidueye wins kind of everything in that generation. And Decidueye is pretty cool. I don't mind Incineroar. I think Incineroar is probably my favorite starter in a while, actually, but that's just me. I do think that we are probably getting a bit overloaded with bipedal Pokemon lately, especially starters. I don't know why. I don't know why four-legged starters is such a like very avoided concept. I like them. Okay, let's go down the list. Charmander Gen 1, because well, Charmander. All the fire starters are bipedal. Oh, I was gonna say Tepig, but no, you're right. Tepig evolves into Emboar and Incinerate. No, wait. I don't. I don't remember what the pun was. It's Pignite and then Emboar. Yeah. Okay. 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 Let's go down the list. I had Charmander to begin with because, I mean, you know, Charmander. A lot of people like to say Charmander's overrated now, but they're wrong. Okay, maybe a little, but whatever. Charmander was popular for a reason. It was like fire. It was cool. But, you know, I feel like growing up, part of growing up is realizing Bulbasaur and Squirtle are also just as cool. For different reasons. Charizard is, though. Okay, I'll give you that. I still think Charizard X is pretty cool, though. I can't lie. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for good reveals. And when Charizard X was revealed in Pokemon Origins, I lost my shit. Pokemon Origins was so good. I know they're trying to make new Pokemon animated shorts. Pokemon Origins is still probably my favorite out of anything Pokemon related because it's just so cool. Like even looking past it as just kind of nostalgia baiting, I feel like they did a good job. Like kind of Origins made you like Charizard for a while. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Charizard. I do, you know, Pokemon is definitely still appealing to Gen 1 fans, and you know, I'm kind of getting sick of it, but I feel like they're moving past that. I feel like with every generation, they're still trying to appeal to a completely different fan base, and that's fine by me. Okay, so, sorry, moving on. Chikorita, Totodile, Cyndaquil, I think I picked... I personally liked Chikorita, because I thought the idea of it being a pinata was really funny and cute. Torchic, Mudkip, Trico. That was before it got shoved down your throats. Fair enough. Oh, that one's a hard one. I like all of them for different reasons, but I picked Torchic. I was Chikorita's a pinata? I thought Chikorita was a pinata. Bulba, Chica, Mudkip, Pup, Piplup, Snivy, Fennekin, Rowlet, Scorbunny. That's a pretty good lineup, Derpy. That's a really good lineup. Yeah, I went Torchic Gen 3 because um back when I was younger, I had a really like I wanted to be the me and my brother would always pick opposing like elements to like riff off each other because, you know, siblings do weird things like that. Like you can't pick you can't pretend to be the Red Ranger. I'm the Red Ranger. You be the Blue Ranger. And you know, I guess I kind of use my older brother's status to kind of bully him into that kind of stuff, which I feel really bad for now. But I would always pick the fire starters for the most part. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with Chikorita. I don't know. I don't know why I picked Chikorita. I just thought mine was a girl, I think. And because mine was a girl, like that was kind of my first, like the first girl starter I ever had. So I just kind of assumed that they were all girls, I guess. But yeah, I think I just had a Chikorita. You're gonna go collect Dedenne eggs. Have a fun time, Derpy. I'm hoping you get some. Hoping you get your shiny that you want. But yeah, I think I would always pick the fire starter because I felt like I had to keep up appearances. Like I'd pick the Red Ranger. The Red Ranger's always fire, so of course I'd go fire all the time. It kind of, you know, in hindsight, gave my brother a lot more options than I did. And he picked. I thought he was gonna pick Mudkip that time, but no, he picked Sceptile or Grovyle. No, sorry, Trico. Whenever I think of that line, I just think of Grovyle because Grovyle's so cool. But yeah, I picked Torchic. And I don't even really associate Torchic with Ruby and Sapphire anymore. To be fair, Trico is pretty cool. I can't lie. I was kind of jealous of him. My brother getting Trico, that is, because I feel like if I picked Trico to begin with, I'd be more attached to Grovyle from Mystery Dungeon, and that's a good character to get attached to. Mudkip is technically the best starter battle-wise. We don't really care about the meta here. This ain't the battle, Subway. But yeah, I don't know. Torchic was always cool to me. Not even meta, just in the main story. That's fair. You're right. Because, yeah. No, you're right. You're totally right. It's that game especially. But yeah, if I had to pick now, I don't know if I'd go Torchic or if I'd go Trico or Mudkip. That one's actually the hardest one for me nowadays. Water Ground is just too good. Makes sense. I think they only made like one more of those types. No, no, I'm thinking of something else, sorry. Anyway. After that was, Chimchar, Turtwig, Piplup. Oh my god. That one's hard. See, I like Chimchar because I'm not a big fan. I never grew up with, like the tail, the store was it like Sun Wukong, but I've always liked how like free-spirited those Pokemon always look. I feel like the art for Infernape does not hold up to what Infernape is actually capable of. I feel like because Infernape is just like hunched over, right? And I feel like the Infernape could have always looked so cool. Originally you picked Chimchar for Gen 4, but now you actually prefer using Turtwig. Yeah, I think Turtwig is who I would pick now. Nothing against Infernape. Infernape's still cool, but I feel like Turtwig is kind of more my jam nowadays. Again, nothing wrong with monkeys. I love monkeys. But Turtwig's so cute, and then it becomes, you know, Grotle, and then Torterra, which is such a cool name. Anyway, Gen 5. Oh, Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott. I picked Oshawott. I forsaken my fire. I forsook my fire. And I picked Oshawott because I guess I kind of felt bad for it, but I also really like the idea of using a shell as a weapon. Snivy is and always will be your favorite Pokemon. Nothing against Snivy. Snivy's cute. Snivy is a solidly designed Pokemon. I think I always just, like, when it comes to Pokemon, like, as a species, gender, I really have no other reason for thinking all Snivys are ladies other than just because that was kind of the case in the anime, because Ash had a Snivy, right? And it was a girl. Whenever they, like, point out gender in Pokemon in the anime, it always sticks with me, because it's like, they never do that. So I guess it just always, like, sticks like that. No real reason. But yeah. Did you guys ever watch the OVA? No, it's not really an OVA, it's more of a trailer. Are those things the same thing? I guess they can be. But the yeah, that was only Ash's Snivy. Trip's was male, and since it had oh, you're right, Trip did have a male Snivy. I do remember that. Because it had a very snooty voice. Like, not quite like that, but like, you know, like, Snivy. Like, I used to be really good at imitating Pokemon, but now I think the only thing I can do is Scyther. And that requires me to be really high and annoying, so I'm not going to do that to you guys right now, because it's late at night. I forgot about Trip. I think I forgot about Trip because I really liked Paul, and Trip always seemed like just kind of a watered down Paul. But of course I would like Paul. His hair color is really cool. Ugh. I think I've already made my thoughts known about Generation 6, 7, and kind of 8. Honestly, you don't think the writers even thought of Paul when making Trip? Like, they are completely different people. I realize that now as an adult. Trip was nothing like Paul at all, but I think design-wise, I just looked at him and I was just like, you're not even trying. You're just Paul, but blonde. And I'm just like, nowadays, I'm just like, you know, that's not quite really a bad thing. They kind of dropped Paul's entire... They didn't really follow up on Paul's journey from, you know, no fun allowed guys to... They were both dicks, but that's all they had in common, yeah. I just don't remember what Trip's deal was. he just kind of like belittled Ash, right? Like a little bit. Not exactly like. Let me look. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't really. I love Black and White. I didn't actually watch a lot of Black and White, like the anime. Black and White were my favorite games, but Trip only thought about becoming strong to defeat Alder. Right, that was his deal. Man, I forgot about that. I forgot about Alder. Not that Alder's not cool, I just forgot he existed in the anime. Let's see. I found out recently. Do you guys remember Pokemon Live, which was that Pokemon musical that was super popular in like the 90s, early 2000s? I think the actor for Brock, I just now found out that they like eventually made their way into the anime, like as a voice actor, and like as kind of one of the God, one of the best performances of the entire thing. Actually, let's see. Let me see if I'm right. No, no, no. He was. It was the. They were. They were James in Pokemon Live, and then eventually they made their way into the anime as Harley, like original Harley, and you know. I don't know. I always really liked Harley because I feel like they were energetic in a way that was like, you know, because this was for kids writing, which meant it was like still really like Pokemon had a real weird. How I think about Pokemon back in the day is like how I think about Animal Crossing, where the earlier seasons, because they were kind of under different, you know, more liberal, more like like they had a lot more range with their scripts, right? They had a lot of liberties they could take. So they made a lot of jokes that were in the original script, but you know, they were so good jokes that they got away with it. So I always remember like early Pokemon script was always really mean, but like, you know, a meanness that was maybe a bit jarring back then, like if I was a kid. When you think of Pokemon back in the day, think of these donuts are great, jelly filled, are your favorite. Nothing beats like I that part always confused me because I clearly knew that they weren't donuts, but feel like I feel like the writing for Pokemon back then, like even after that, is still really funny. Like it's a dumb joke. Okay. I guess the one thing that exemplifies my point is that one scene in Hoenn where it's like guys versus girls, and it's like James and Ash versus Jesse and May, because you know it was the 2000s. A guy versus girl episode tended, like, you could not go a Sunday morning without seeing one of those episodes. And do I need to say more? I think that clip's pretty viral. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where it's like Jesse being like, I don't remember what Jesse says because what James said immediately was like way more like holy shit, James, calm down. But it was like Jesse says something like, let's show them what we can, what, let's show them what the fairer sex is made of, or something like that. And then James just said like, let's send those bickering women back to the Stone Ages to where they belong. And it's like, what, James? Hello? Like, James, that's not cool. We don't, it is... sorry. I need to watch that again. Hold on. James, Stone Age. There it is. Yeah, it's just like... Yeah, let's show those... You know, maybe I shouldn't quote it because people would clip it out of context, but James says some weird things. Casual sexism was something shows really liked back in the 90s, early 2000s. I mean, you're not wrong, but I think the punchline is the fact that, like, James, probably the most in touch with his feminine side, was the one saying this stuff, which was like, what are you doing? Hello? That's how I like to read it nowadays, at least. I could be wrong, but I think the fun part is the fact that James was so really into it for some reason, where like Jesse was kind of mostly like angered, but not really like to the point of yelling. And Ash and May were just kind of like, yeah, I guess I could give May a piece of my mind. Sorry, I'm just watching the clip now. Let me see. I do appreciate the fact that we are kind of beyond the age of we need an episode where the girls fight the guys to prove who's the better sex, and it's like, come on. That really what we want to teach the kids? Especially every other show that was doing it, because they weren't as funny as this. Yeah, okay. James says, and I quote, let's blow those whining women back to the Dark Ages where they belong. And then after like a very short pause, Ash with a smile on his face says, yeah, okay. It's like, what? Ash? I don't know why I find that so funny. It's just so weirdly out of character for what both of them are known for at this point. Does Ash doubt anyone could get away with that today? I mean, not... I feel like if it was today... Yeah, well, yeah, I doubt anyone would really get away with it today because, I don't know, I feel like the ideas of just, like, again, guy versus girl is such an outdated concept at this point. It's like, who cares? Just, but you know, sorry, this is random. This is so random. Do they still make Ash cross-dress like every season? I know he did it in Sun and Moon. And I know that it was like a weird, strangely mandatory, like, prerequisite per season. Or per region, at the very least. And I always took note of it when I was younger because I was just like, he looks really good in a dress. Remember when he was Ashley? And then, did they keep bringing back Ashley? I feel like they did. At the very least, they used the same name once. I can't remember if he did that in X and Y. Yeah, I think what they did for X and Y was they used Serena instead, because they made Serena dress up as Ash. I think I understand now. Because whenever I make lady characters in games and stuff, I feel like I always dress them up in like an orange dress and a bow with blonde hair. I think I understand why I do that now. Huh. That's what Ashley wore. Alright. That was an episode. It was, because they had to get him into, what was her name? Why can't I remember? What was her name? Grass gym leader. Pokemon Gen 1. Erica. And they had to get into Erica's gym, and Erica's gym only had women. Which, you know, I'm sure was a I'm sure was a fair thing to do. I don't know. I forgot how they did that. Because oh, Serena dressing up as Ash. Oh, right. Because Ash was sick, and Serena had to fight a Pikachu trainer. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah. How did... I need to rewatch that episode, because I feel like whenever... I feel like the idea of Ash like not being able to do a very girly voice is such a weird thing, because, you know, he was voiced by Veronica Taylor, who was his mom, as well as May. So the idea of him trying to do a very feminine voice and failing, I feel like I need to rewatch it just to hear how Veronica Taylor went about that. Alright, and then you have the Pokemon... Wait. The Hoenn season, he did it. Diamond and Pearl, he did it. You need to rewatch that episode in Japanese to see what Matsumoto Rika did for him struggling doing a girl. Oh, you're right. That would... Huh. Hold on. Doesn't she also do... Hold on. Sorry. Because I was pretty sure that... No. Never mind. Yeah, she voices Bakura. Yeah, I was under the assumption that Ash's voice actor also voicing their mother was like a Japanese trend that they kept with the English dub, but no, that's an English dub trend. Because even once they switched companies, Ash's voice actor still voiced Delia. That's interesting. I never knew that. I never knew that that was not a... Like a... I never knew that that was not a... Yeah. That was not a Japanese Seiyu joke. Oh, Black and White, he did, he did don a wig. Pikachu donned a different tail. That was funny. You know, yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna. I was just gonna say that like I've seen a lot of Pokemon fan art, and now I'm now realizing a lot of it was just Ash. Oh right, what was his name? Is it just Alan or Elaine? I don't remember how you say it. Dude with the Charizard. You're surprised the writers didn't overlook the fact that Pichu has a Elaine. Okay. Yeah, because this was a generation that Pikachu's did have one, right? Like, a more pronounced... No, that was Gen 4. Yeah, that was Gen 4. Never mind. I really like his design. I know it's just Charizard X, but I feel like it was a really cool look. Yep, there's Serena. He's voiced by Ono Kensho, and when you found that out, he became even greater than you remember. Ono Kensho. I feel like we've mentioned him before, right, Red? Recently, actually. Oh, that's why. Okay, I see. I love how last 8-point stream, you're right, we did. I don't remember why. Oh, right, Diluc. Diluc. That's why. Anyway. Yeah, I also voiced the previously mentioned Yuya. Interesting. How coincidental. I love how things go full circle like that, like this train. Anyway. I know it's probably not the intended way it started, but I guess, you know, I obviously not, right? Well, I don't know, maybe. Who knows? But I feel like with the amount of cross-dressing that went on in Pokemon, like, especially in the early years, and, you know, I guess continuously throughout the thing, I feel like that, like, it was probably not the intended effect, but I feel like that made me a bit more open towards the idea, you know, like, of gender not really mattering in terms of clothing, which, you know, was just one step into realizing, or maybe this gender thing isn't really the whole big thing it's made out to be. I feel like there's a more eloquent way of putting that thought, but I can't think of it right now because I'm still working and I'm tired. But I don't know. I feel like I don't think I'm not under the assumption that gender roles are completely okay, maybe not gender roles. I feel like that's like more like assuming that's like I feel like saying gender roles means more like, you know, like, hey, you should go back to what you you know, what society deems you to be, or what society deems you should do or be, or so and so. I guess more like, I guess stereotypes more so. Like, which is weird because it says stereotype right there, which you would assume to be a negative thing, but you know, I feel like, oh, my train of thoughts all over the place. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like seeing characters kind of dress up in whatever they liked at the time. Okay, Ash never really liked dressing like that. James, I feel like he was more cool with it. And then at some point he got embarrassed of it and stopped doing it, but I feel like that was always kind of a interesting thing that's stuck out in my mind of just like, clearly society says that this is not how things should be, or they are using it as a springboard for a joke. But on the other hand, everyone looks really good when they do it, because I guess here's the thing, good clothes look good regardless, like, who's wearing them. Like, it's okay to wear a pretty dress. Nothing wrong with that. I guess this all eventually just culminated in me in like also wearing a dress one day at school. I just passed it off as cosplay at the time because it was Halloween. And it was. I'm not going like it was. I don't know. It's nice to dress up. Like just wearing a bunch of normal clothes every now and then. Though I guess dresses are kind of old-fashioned even nowadays. I barely see anyone wearing them, for good reason, because dresses are kind of horrible whenever it's weather that is not just perfectly normal weather, like perfectly sunny. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to not think about things that society tells you and just do whatever you like. Well, within reason. As long as it's not hurting anyone. Which this isn't, obviously. I feel like there was probably better media in my childhood that probably better informed me about things like this. That episode of Robot Jones, where Robot gets confused about the whole gender thing in general and starts wondering, you know, like, I don't like what boys tend to like. Am I actually a girl? And it's like, no, it's full of stereotypes and stuff like that, but I think the message of the main character in the end just deciding, I don't need any of this. I thought that was really cool when I was younger. They had an episode of Lloyd in Space, which is a show I probably should have given more attention when I was younger. That basically played off the same idea. And you know, thinking back on it, I'm surprised those episodes were allowed to air, not because of anything within the episode itself, but more so the culture at the time concerning things like that. I don't know, stuff like that fascinates me. I've always been super fascinated by things like, you know, like gender roles, because I'm like, how did these things come to be? At what point did we decide, oh, sorry. What point did we decide that things that are pink are for girls and things that are blue are for boys when, you know, A few generations ago, that was not the case. It was the opposite, in fact. Because pink was seen as a more manlier color, while blue was seen as softer, less aggressive. And then somewhere along the lines that switched. Who knows why? I'll tell you why. Media. Like, this is kind of a weird segue. Did you know that Nimrod is actually the god of hunting in... Is this Roman? No, Bible. The Bible. Biblical, sorry. Clearly, I am not caught up on my Bible studies. Because that's what's expected of me, I'm sure. Yeah. Nimrod is actually the god of hunting. Or not the god, a biblical figure of hunting. Like, they're supposed to be a great hunter. But that all changed with the invention and debut of Bugs Bunny. Because what does Bugs Bunny call Elmer Fudd? Nimrod. Which is supposed to be sarcastic, right? Like, oh, this guy thinks he's a great hunter. Hey, this guy's think he... I can't do a Bugs Bunny impression, sorry. But yeah, you know, he called him Nimrod in a mocking fashion. Now, you know, people who know realize he's using that term sarcastically. But people who didn't know at the time, especially people who watched it years after the fact on reruns when they were kids, because I did that, didn't, you know that Nimrod was a biblical figure of hunting. They just knew that Bugs Bunny was insulting Elmer and thought it was a funny word. So now you hear a lot of people say Nimrod, well, maybe not now, but you know, it was an insult. It was an insult for the longest time. And you know, it still is. I don't know if anyone uses it anymore, but I feel like the word Nimrod itself, the name, is no longer... Like, you can't say that name without implying something bad now. Like... Yeah, right here, on Wikipedia. In modern American English, the term Nimrod is often used to mean a dim-witted or stupid person. Usage first recorded in 1932. The usage is often said to have been popularized. Oh, it wasn't Bugs Bunny. It was actually Daffy. That makes a lot more sense. That would make a lot more sense because I feel like the modern image of Elmer Fudd wasn't really finalized until Daffy, because before, when he met first time with Bugs, he was like kind of taller and bigger, and he also just captured, like, sold Bugs as like a rabbit. Wasn't even hunting him. Sorry, I watched a lot of Toonheads. Yeah, stuff like that is so fascinating to me, of like fiction changing perceptions of reality. Because it's like, we'd like to say that fiction's just fiction, it doesn't really influence the real world. It totally does. Like, and to say that it does not influence the real world, like to say that it's just, you know, make believe, pretend, feel like you're discrediting, like people who say that are discrediting a lot of what fiction is responsible for. Sorry, this is a weird tangent. But I don't know. I don't even know if there's like a study for that fiction relating to modern society or society. Oh, thank you, IP. To anyone new here, I just like to apologize on behalf of my ramblings. It's kind of what save points are all about, really. Just kind of rambling trains of thoughts that don't really stop anywhere. But yeah, I really like the idea of fiction influencing reality. At least, like, in positive ways, I guess. Obviously, fiction has such power over how we view things, as we've just recently spoken about. But sometimes they're not all for the better. Though I guess Nimrod being a bad word now is probably an example of for the worse. But it's funny. Let's see. Take a break from working. Let's see. Nimrod. Whoops. I want to find out what that's actually called. Like, fiction finding its way to influence reality. There has to be a better way of looking this up. Oh, that's an interesting thing. While the term Nimrod was originally about a great hunter in the Bible, and then became kind of a insult thanks to the combined efforts of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, it's not far off from the original, the namesake, Nimrod, because he was apparently so full of himself that he began to replace the image of God with himself. Building the Tower of Babel. Ah. How interesting. So, something that the great hunter Nimrod became an insult, meaning idiotic or, full of himself, thanks to Looney Tunes, but in actuality, probably embodied the actual Nimrod himself to a T. Weird. So either things just have a weird way of kind of circling back around, as we've already mentioned, or the writers behind, those Looney Tunes shorts were really smart. Well, that has been your daily bit of knowledge about words that no one uses anymore. Weird. Anyway. How did we get from Ash cross-dressing to Nimrod? No, you still hear it every once in a while. Do you? I feel like I only ever hear about it from... You use it when you try not to sweat? You know, maybe I should start using it. Oh, swear. I was gonna say, like... Maybe I should start using it when I start sweating, like in a game, like Apex. My teammates are goddamn Nimrods. I guess I still swore, but... Anyway... Fascinating things that you find out when you're, like, just randomly looking, like, researching. I used to do that a lot. I used to go on wikis, like, well, like, by wikis I mean Wikipedia, and just kind of, like, scroll down the related list until something actually came up that interests me, and just read the entire article. That's how I found out a lot about animation. It's probably where I learned that fact, actually. Bum bum bada 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 bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bum. Sorry, should I talk about Nijisanji? I feel like talking about Nijisanji is kind of like my thing now. Don't let them know. And by them I mean both Nijisanji, any color, as well as Turtle, because I feel like Turtle has a habit of just walking in whenever I'm talking about Nijisanji. Which is always, like, embarrassing. But, you know, now would be a good time to. Lazulite's been around for a year. I'm super happy for them, actually. Been a fan since day one. Because I was a fan of Nijisanji from... Okay, not day one, but... I wanted to support Nijisanji's English branch because... I tried before, but... That was rebranded back to... Nijisanji IN. I feel like Nijisanji EN came at a really good time for me, personally. I was not going through a good patch in my life. And... Well, I guess this is more about me than it says about them, probably, but... You know, It was a weird time. Not a time I fondly remember. Just say going through some rough stuff. And, you know, that suddenly here were 3 new people from this group that I really liked who spoke English frequently. I could just end up watching, and, you know, I had fun. But I remember very specifically it was like a very bad point in my life where I was just like unable to get up. And it was it's probably not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but it was not a really fun part of my whole time back then. And it was right before Poma went on hiatus for a bit because hospital things, I think she said. And you know, I remember she happened to do karaoke, like a bunch of streams before she went offline for a bit. And I don't know. I decided to put on her karaoke stream kind of just on a whim. I liked Ian at that point, but I didn't really super invest in listening to any of them because I thought they were, they were good, but I figured that it would be a thing I would like support on the side while doing my own thing or watching JP or any of the other branches I was already invested in at that point. But, you know, maybe it was just because I was in a weird place. But seeing someone who was like having to go to the hospital the day after, um, for something that I think was apparently serious because she, needed stitching, which, well, I guess that's surgery, but I don't know, like seeing someone just sing so happily and carefree and still put a lot of effort into everything they're doing, like right before a big day like that. I don't know. I it made me feel like not that I wasn't going through like a bad time or like something as serious as that. I feel like, judging pain based on relative pain to others is maybe not the most healthy way of looking at things. But I don't know, it lifted me up enough to actually like get back to work and, start working on me. Like, I don't know. I really appreciate Pomu specifically for that. Just being super happy at a time where I probably needed it. I needed to see someone like happy in the face of life, I guess. I'll tell you what it was. Evil Melenzana, is that a joke or are you actually advertising something? Because if you are, I have the power to ban you right here and now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. No, it's a boy. A bot. Okay. Well, uh, there we go. Don't worry about it, Red. I appreciate you telling me though, because I can't really tell with people like that. Because I feel like whenever I see bots, they're just like the name of the product they're selling, as opposed to straight up something that probably someone wanted someone out there. But yeah, that's my Pomu story. I guess to sum it up, I didn't really get the whole idol culture thing back then. But after realizing that like all it really took to get me like out of my funk was just like some lady singing songs clearly with a lot of heart in it. It's like, I get it. I understand now. No, normally they have fake names to seem like real people. That's a lot of effort on their part, to be honest. But yeah, I get it now. I get the whole Oshi thing. I get wanting to root for someone out there who, probably will never know who you are. But, you just want to root for them because they do the same for you in their own weirder way, but, I get it. Sorry. This is a weird topic. I guess we've been on a lot of weird topics lately. You guys have any stories like that? Doesn't have to be a VTuber. It can be literally anyone online, or just someone you don't think someone you don't think would have had such a big effect on you, but ended up having one. I think that's something we can end on. Just talking about this, like, because it's hard, right? Because it's like you don't want this to be a parasocial relationship type thing. And, you know, I don't know if that's what this is. Maybe a little, I don't know. The idea of being influenced by someone, by fiction, or by someone across the world or through the screen. Probably some of your old VTuber friends, but they started out positive and turned negative. That's depressing, Red, but I feel like that's not super surprising. Not to say anything about your friends, obviously, but more so like, you know, being part of a crowd, like a social circle, like that's why I don't really get super involved in fandoms, because I feel like once you kind of introduce something you love, or okay, sorry, let me reword that. Once you kind of get exposed to more people who are into the thing that you like, it becomes, you know, a risk, right? Not necessarily that they can't have the same interests as you, but more so that's just more like more moving parts equals more chance for failure, right? Like the more people who are into something that you like, the more potential there is that someone who considers themselves part of, you know, the fandom does something bad, right? Or, you know, exposed to more potential drama that could happen, but just by the sake of having a lot more people involved in something. It's not a bad thing. I don't think you should gatekeep people out of the hobbies that you enjoy. But, you know, it's just a fact of life that popular things generate more drama, or more like, yeah, more drama, more like problematic behaviors. Mostly because once you get into like the thousands, things get harder to wrangle. And, you know, I think as VTubers, I think we all know, like, we all like to play, we all like to be happy, be positive, be supportive. But I feel like obviously there is a bunch of drama in the VTuber community that I don't personally like to bring up, because, you know, I always kind of like to think of this whole scene as kind of a more positive influence as a whole. Like, it's combining, you know, not to get a bit fourth wall breaky right here, but, you know, it's combining animation, anime, um, technology, streaming culture, internet culture, meme culture, whatever culture, presentation, voice acting. You know, it's all of those things in one. So I've always liked to see it as kind of like my perfect medium in terms of engagement and, you know, consumption. But obviously, there has been a whole lot of VTuber drama. I can name the big ones, but I feel like naming the big ones might work poorly in my favor. Might not work. So I'll just, you know, say this. Try not to think of fandoms as the be-all end-all of engaging with the media that you like. It's perfectly fine to go camping solo. Or with a couple of friends. I really like things like I like Pokemon. I like Fire Emblem. Would I ever engage with either of those fandoms online? And when I say fandoms, I mean like the greater thing. They themselves weren't negative, just a series of events that turned badly. Oh, I can kind of see that too. Things just kind of tumble out of control sometimes. You are your influences, you know? That might sound like kind of excusing the blame for washing your hands of any parts in bad things that happen, but I don't know. Like I feel like it's healthy to kind of take a look back at your life and all the negative influences that you've kind of absorbed. And I think it's healthy to be able to be like, yes, I have clearly been a bad person. I've clearly exhibited bad behaviors from people that I can straight up name that have taught me these behaviors. Oh, hey Neon, hey, how you doing? You understand entirely where you're coming from, where I'm coming from, where Red is coming from? Either way, your understanding is very much welcome here. Thank you, Neon. I hope you're doing okay, by the way. I hope, well, in general. But also, like, clearly, since you know where either of us are coming from, I hope you're doing alright. Just kind of randomly talking. Little update, the clip's done. You work fast, Red. Dang. Yeah. You mean being a fan as opposed to being with fandom? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Like I said, I like Pokemon. I like Fire Emblem. What's another, like, very popular... I like Persona, I guess? Sure, sure. Though I feel like I could only really ever like those things on my own as opposed to, like, engaging with the greater audience. 'Cause talking about Pokemon on Twitter or on, like, well, not that I really use Tumblr anymore, but, like, talking about Pokemon on social media, hard to do. Hmm. Sorry, since we were talking about the VTuber scene as a whole, You think that's bad? You're homesick. Oh no. Oh. That's fair. You probably know a lot more than I do at this point, Neon. Nothing against Homestuck, though. I never partook in Homestuck myself. And, I feel like back then I was also super into the whole, like, if you weren't part of Homestuck, then you probably had negative feelings about Homestuck. So I was definitely caught up in that, like, drainage. But I don't know. I feel like looking back on it, whatever controversies aside, like, I don't know. It's like, I can't fault it. But I totally understand about the whole getting lost in the crowd thing now, especially with Homestuck. So much gray body paint. Oh, that was... I started going to conventions when Homestuck was starting to get super big. And that, like, terrifying, but impressive. I'd never seen anything like that when I was younger. And yeah, to some extent, I have to say I'm maybe a bit sad that I never got into the whole fad, like the whole thing. I gave it a fair shot, but I never, like, I don't know, maybe my mind wasn't like really in the right place. Like I couldn't really wrap my head around the format, but the format was so cool now that I'm looking back on it. You don't care about the controversies. It's a pile of well-written story and tons of music, and all of it has the asterisks next to it that just includes the worst things. Yeah, you know, you're totally right. That's what fandoms are all about, right? The very best, along with all of the worst. But we try to kind of look more to the positive things about them. I will say that one of my favorite Homestuck like AMVs or animatics or whatever you call them, um, which I guess kind of also leads into this whole thing, but maybe it's a bit slightly different. I don't know. Um, I remember it specifically because I thought it was a really cool looking AMV and it had really catchy music, and then I looked it up and the music was actually from like the My Little Pony fandom. Like, where am I heading? I nowhere really. What are save points if not a little rest stop in the greater journey to nowhere? It's about the journey, not the destination. Though, it is a bit concerning that I've been on this train for like 2 hours and still I've gone nowhere. But you know, it's kind of going at a lax pace right now. You're also a brony. You were a dead breed. I can't really comment much about the brony thing, like the My Little Pony fandom. I will say though, amazing music. Like, I can't lie. Like, I feel like of the music that I listened to back in the day, a lot of them just happen to be My Little Pony song, like remix songs or like original songs. They were bops. They were bops. Again, no shame here. Most definitely. Like I think I've talked about cartoons literally as soon as I started streaming, so it's like nothing super phases me anymore. We've talked throughout this entire stream, we've talked about how fiction kind of influences reality, about how, you know, they can influence people's perceptions on things, on words, on concepts. And I don't know. I generally don't look fondly upon people who say that like fiction or things that aren't traditionally what's the word, like adult, I guess, traditionally adult. Her favorite part of the fandom was the dude who abridged it and made it way more realistic but on his own style. It's called the Mentally Advanced series and it lives up to that. That's interesting. I've, again, never partook in a pony, never partook in the fandom, but like hearing about, okay, this is kind of off topic, well, I don't know, but recently I've gotten super into watching that a cartoon. Turn that shit off. I'm not gonna watch cartoons. Yeah, it's like, okay, sorry, I'm swerving off topic to go off topic, but I feel like that's a lot of my problems with modern kind of cinema concerning comic books, like be it the MCU, whatever DC is doing nowadays, because I feel like, you know, those are fun movies, but there's always a part of me that feels like they're kind of trying to wipe themselves clean of the comic books or the cartoons that they were obviously inspired by, and it's like, Why? Some of those comics, some of those cartoons were really good and are really good. Like, I still feel like the best episodes of Teen Titans still kind of, like, not even the Batman the Animated Series. Like, straight up, the one that is, like, anime, the one that is cartoony, the most cartoony of the DC animated features. I still feel like some of the best episodes of that give a lot of DC's attempts at making their heroes look good and dramatic and adult. Have them beat. Rip Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Oh, I forgot about Avengers. You're right. That was a really good version, like adaptation of those characters. Oh man. I will say, when it comes to superheroes, I was always more of a DC guy because DC was kind of killing it with their cartoons. At least like in the 2000s era. I feel like Spider-Man was I've never really considered Spider-Man a Marvel character up to that point because it was like a that was when Spider-Man was kind of like sold off, so he was kind of off on his own adventures. It was a very good series, and then the movies happened, so they cancel it to make it something closer to the movies. Don't get me started on the weird homogenization of like the brand. Heck yeah, they were the direct-to-movie DVDs. It's like comic books are all about different writers' interpretations of these characters. So why would you want to just make them look like the ones everyone knows, right? Spider-Man the 90s series had crossovers with X-Men, Fantastic Four. Oh, I mean, like, you know, post like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he was kind of off on his own until, well, you know. I think here's the thing. I was never a big fan of like Marvel stuff in the 90s, but then I look back on it and then I realize why. It's because they were probably the perfect adaptations of those comic books, which was very new to me. Because, you know, a lot of DC stuff or like even just modern comic book stuff, or like when I say modern, like I mean like 2010s maybe, they would take inspiration from the comics, or well, Teen Titans was also 2000, so like they would take inspiration from the comics. Sorry, this goes back to Batman, the animated series, but they would take inspiration from the comics, but never really truly like just completely use a plot line beat for beat. Sometimes. Like they would always try to get it within the episode, right? Whereas I feel like a lot of Spider-Man stuff was kind of perfectly fine having arcs that lasted, you know, as long as it needed to tell the plot line of the story. And, you know, that's actually how comic books work. But I think when I was younger, I was just like could not wrap my head around it, and also I did not watch a lot of TV for hours upon hours, like to get storylines. I was just there for a good time. But yeah, I feel like I should give a lot of the Marvel stuff a shot. I did watch X-Men Evolution, but I'm not sure what the public perception of that was nowadays. That's like the teenage X-Men, right? Here's a fun fact: the power is out, and you crave tea, so you have to move the kettle to your room to make it. History repeats itself, Fred. Didn't this happen last time too? You remember it as good? I remember Brad Swale was the voice of Nightcrawler, who is otherwise known as Light Yagami from Death Note. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was an interesting like little factoid. Because it was a Canadian series. So obviously, you know, because of Canadian laws, Canadian voice actors. Yeah, yeah, fitting. I I always liked Nightcrawler's look in that show. Like, I think the idea of I think Nightcrawler with more demonic looking eyes is probably the cooler aesthetic. Like, you know, it's non-standard hero look. A dude with just bright yellow eyes staring at you who looks like a demon. But you know, I have a soft spot for Evolution Nightcrawler. I guess they were still also really solicized, but you know, like I feel like this looks more like, you know, Hinata, the Hyuga clan. Like I, the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, I feel like that was when spindly superheroes were like the big thing, right? Like gangly, like we don't care how this person's depiction was in the comics, we're gonna make them thin and like really like lanky. Because that was the young, the age of young superheroes, right? Because Batman Beyond was also a thing. I guess he was less lanky, but you know, less lanky than traditional Batman, Batman Vanilla. He was still he was still like traditionally built, but sleeker. Yeah. There was this episode where it was shown that he doesn't actually directly teleport, and in actuality, he's teleporting and going through either a pocket dimension or hell very quickly. I do remember that episode. Like, very vaguely. Was he having, like, nightmares? I think... It's like a dream. I feel like... Because he was, like... Was he, like, waking up in the middle of night? I don't remember anymore. I do remember this, though. I maybe it's worth a watch, like watching X-Men Evolution again. You think so? Yeah, I think in my mind he's like having nightmares, but in reality he's actually just waking up in the middle of accidentally teleporting into sleep or something, but I might be making that up. It probably wouldn't hold up now. You're probably right. Hello, Ghost Bowo. Is it Ghost Bowo? Oh, thank you for the follow, Ghost. Hi. We're just kind of talking about old animation, old superhero cartoons. Batman Beyond was also damn good, but you also think it wouldn't hold up now. I could probably see that. Yeah, I could. I could see that. I still like Batman Beyond, but what was the silly thing that they always said? Like, was it sway? Shui? Can we bring that back? Shui? Was Batman Beyond Shui? Speaking about X-Men Evolution, I know everyone's like crush in that show was simply call you Ghost, dear friend. Someone already took the name Ghost Boy and you like the term. That's fair. Trying to make that happen. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, okay. I guess let's. I guess this is the part of the stream where I start embarrassing myself, but what was her name? Hold on. It's Rogue, right? Sorry, I'm really bad with that word because of Sonic the Hedgehog and I guess the word itself. Though actually, you apologize if you're being rude by with bumping into my our conversation. Though you believe Batman Beyond could hold up by today's standards. Okay, interesting. Actually, like, I don't know. I don't know. I go back and forth, you know, like, yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I could. Like, I know the animated series. I think a lot of the future stuff in Batman Beyond probably doesn't hold up as well, but I feel like the more thematically, well, compared to the new movies, you doubt it could be through TV shows. You doubt it could be could through TV shows. You believe so? Okay, okay. Like, I remember having a lot of good times with Batman Beyond. I think it would, you know, Anna Marie. Was that her actual name? Hold on. Yeah, I think in my mind, I think a lot of the stuff still holds up well. Or would still hold up well. But it's been a while, you know? So I could be wrong. But in my heart of hearts, I do hope that it stays up. Batman Beyond probably still holds up. Because a lot of the early Bruce Timm stuff, that was Bruce Timm, right? Yeah, a lot of the earlier Bruce Timm stuff still holds up. You know, maybe not some of the latter stuff. But for X-Men Evolution, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, sorry. Back to what I was gonna bring up earlier, because I feel like I should, with the new viewer, I should embarrass myself a little. You will say Justice League Unlimited holds right the heck up. You know? Perfectly fair. You rewatched that months ago. I did too. Okay, I'm gonna say something right here and now. I love Justice League Unlimited. I love the Batman the Animated Series. Please don't feel forced to make a fool of myself. It's fine. I feel like I'm gonna do that regardless, so might as well. I love all of like the DCEU stuff. Wait. Is DC animated DCAU. Yeah, yes. I love all the DCAU stuff. The anime series is good. Like, all that stuff is great. My favorite DC comic, or DC series, cartoon, though, is 100% The Brave and the Bold. Batman the Brave and the Bold is so overlooked. But, it's so fun. It's so incredibly fun. Like, I feel like that is the cartoon that, like, translates the, is it the Silver Age or the Copper Age? But it like, the silliness of the comic books but still manages to like tell compelling stories within them. Sadly, I haven't been able to watch the said show. I don't know what it's on nowadays. I don't think it's on Netflix. Like I love long storylines and like more serious takes on the characters, but I feel like I never see Batman depicted in such a funny way, at least seriously. They do the idolization of Batman thing, which is like, yeah, I can take it or leave it, but I feel like whenever they depict Batman as something more than broody and dark, which he wasn't in the animated series, let me tell you that. 9 out of 10, a serious Adam West Batman would have brought it to it. You know, that's perfectly fair. Yeah, you're right. Batman Beyond had one of those. No, not even Batman Beyond. The animated series, right? Right? Adam West, was he in the animated series or was he in Beyond? Was he in both? No. No, I'm thinking of the Kim Possible episode with Adam West. May you ask my opinion on the new Batman movie? I haven't seen it. I haven't actually seen it yet. I've heard good things about it though. Sorry, let me just look up names. Okay, I know everyone is like, I know everyone was kind of like anxious about Robert Pattinson being Batman, but like in my head, I'm just like, this dude is literally like, he's like the weird dude who could potentially be hiding a secret life. Like, I don't know, it kind of fitting to me. Gonna derail your train of thought here. And by all means, Xeon. This train has no stops, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like a fun movie. Other alternative takes on Batman are always fun. I don't know if he's... Well, yeah, I hear this Batman is more so Batman than he is Bruce Wayne, which seems like a interesting concept. But while Neon, like, prepares the bomb to, like, derail this train... oh, speaking of Kim Possible, have you watched some of the more modern Disney animated shows? I have. I have indeed. I have watched... Well, somewhat. The mix of the two characters has an interesting take in the movie. Interesting. Is it more like... Sorry, real fast. I'll answer this and then I'll get back to you. To you, Neon. Interesting. Is it more like... I'm assuming it's more like he's still new to this, so his Bruce Wayne either needs work or his Batman needs work, or maybe both. So he's like awkward as Bruce Wayne and not as intimidating as Batman, or too intimidating as Batman. I don't know. I need to get to it because it looks fun. But for the more modern Disney shows, more as if Bruce were to try and neglect, more like as if Batman were to try and neglect Bruce. Okay, so he's not good as Bruce. That's interesting. I like that a lot, actually. I feel like we don't get a lot of I feel like we don't get a lot of like early Batman. Your favorites were Star vs. the Force of Evil, Wander Over Yonder, Gravity Falls, Amphibia, and your current favorite, The Owl House. Okay. I'll go about these in order. I started with Star vs. Force of Evil quite some time ago. I only got to the first 3 seasons, I think. I'm not a big romance person. Well, it depends. So whenever like they would kind of go more in that direction, I was not as on board as I thought I would be. But Star was incredibly fun. I love Marco, and the voice of Marco is also the main character in Jujutsu Kaisen. Fun fact. One of his first anime roles. Wander Over Yonder always looked so fun because it's is it? I want to say Craig McCracken. Hold on. Yep, Craig McCracken. I can tell that art style from anywhere. Or not art style, well, like that animation style. Choose the best one from the list, Wander Over Yonder. Wander Over Yonder's, like, I've watched a few episodes of it, and it was incredibly fun. Like, I feel like that is like the serial pick, right? Like, if I want to, like, just chill out and get nostalgic over something, you know, it's Craig McCracken style, it's his team, so it's like, yeah, that's clearly gonna be what reminds me of yesteryear. Wander Over Yonder is the pure definition of a fun show. Yeah. I wish I watched more of it. Sorry, let's keep going. Gravity Falls I watched a lot of. That was like Disney's big revival, right? Like, hey, we make cartoons and we care about cartoons again, right? I feel like I could talk a bunch about Gravity Falls since that's probably the one I've watched the most of. But maybe I should save that for another stream. And I don't know how my thoughts like hold up nowadays. Commander Peterson, you're forever beloved. Oh, the fact that I looked it up, I won't lie. But like the fact that I could like read that name and immediately tell who that was and then just had to look it up to confirm, that's like, yep. Gravity Falls made it fun, part of the fandom, all the theories, the decoding. Yeah, that was when like ARGs and creepypastas became so big. So Gravity Falls just kind of came at the right time, at the right place, at the right time. Oh my god. I have not watched a lot of Amphibia. I've watched a little, and I think it seems fun. And okay, I will say this: my brother has been watching it and keeps me informed on what happens. Some of the stuff in some of those ending finales, they shocked me a bunch. That was the first time I seen like a content warning on a Disney cartoon. If you know, you know. Amphibia just had the series finale. I saw. Makes me wonder if I should get into it. Okay, but the one that the one that I'm kind of here for, because I actually watched this one because at the behest of my brother, who said good things about it. I love the Owl House. I think the first season of the Owl House is kind of okay. It's kind of whatever. Second season, second season of the Owl House, at least from what I've watched, you could take a stab at what I'm getting at. Oh, Neon. Yeah, the second season of the Owl House starts off amazingly. I mean, first season of the Owl House ends amazingly. Ida's your favorite character? It's hard to... It's gonna sound weird. I feel like the Owl House made me understand Tenchi Muyo. And that's a really weird sentence, but... Because, you know, I had a lot of friends back in the day when anime people could, like, watch whatever anime was around. You know, telling me how, they really liked Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo. And I never got it, because I was just like, what? Her hair's wild and she is technically a bad person. I don't get it. Years later, and by years I mean probably decades, the Owl House comes out, and I am currently old and weathered, quote unquote. And I'm just like, she's like, he just freaking hilarious. You enjoy the presence of King or Bellos? Actually, they managed to pack so much stress and fear into a character when they came to the Emperor. You're right. You don't have to be a be good to be a good character. I know that now. Okay. That brings me to my actual favorite character of the show, though. I love King. Because the thing with King is, you tell me that like a character is voiced by Alex. It's Alex Hirsch, right? Yeah. You tell me a character is voiced by Alex Hirsch. He did some good stuff. You know, he voiced a lot of the characters in Gravity Falls. But I feel like pathos is always such a weird thing for me with him. But there's an episode with King in season 2. Probably the very first real big King episode in season 2, and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but I can't lie, it made me cry really badly. And it's such a weird episode too. I don't know why I like started just losing it. But I don't know, man. Like, King is a character who has many things hiding behind him. Yeah, like the poor dude's in the dark for a lot, and you know it's rather impressive. It is like how he goes from kind of the jokey character that no one really takes seriously to kind of one of the more relatable characters in the show, and kind of how it completely reforms him as a person. You're aware of the episode you speak. Thank you. All right, then I don't have to like. Well, I'll still talk around it just in case people are listening. But that episode hurt. It hurt really bad. But in the end, it made King one of my favorite characters out of kind of all the Disney canon. Really, I don't know. Man. You can think of two? I'd be like, that's not to say I don't like any of the other characters. I think all the other characters in that show are great. But you know, King was the one that just made me cry. It is the episode of his questions and the reveal. You're right. I'm not caught up yet. Actually, I'm not caught up. So maybe that's why I'm holding back on spoilers, because spoilers and suddenly, uh-oh. But no, I think that's the one. The reveal hurt you? Man. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with the Owl House eventually. I promise you guys. I promise you guys right here, right now. Right after I'm done with Ranking of Kings, I'm gonna get to it. Gotta go check the clip now, so since you know you won't be live in 56 minutes, thank you for the stream. Thank you for showing up, Red. It's always nice to see you pop by, so thanks. Thanks for keeping me informed on your progress, too. It's actually really exciting. Yeah, King had such a good episode. You were practically clawing your eyes out from the tears. He was like, okay, I get you, Neon. Damn it. Let's see. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I know not a lot of people have actually watched this one, and it's a harder sell than kind of it's a harder sell than the Owl House or and Amphibia. But I really like DuckTales, the reboot DuckTales. I thought it was great. That's another episode. That series has another episode that basically made me start crying, but like for weirdly different reasons. Um, you're sorry if you somehow spoiled anything to your friend that can offer advice on said episode. You recommend bringing a comfy pillow for tears. Oh, I just have that. I just bought one actually. You forgot you watched that? Yeah, okay, my thing with DuckTales is I feel like the last few seasons I think weren't really didn't really stick with me as much, but I do think Della was an amazing character. And I hope that Della becomes kind of like like DuckTales. Woohoo. Woohoo. Yeah. Like I think Della is an amazing character, and I hope that they get brought back like Max tends to get brought back. But the episode that gets me is kind of the end of season 2. End of season 1? I don't want to say what happens, but they are on the plane and the plane has stopped. That's as much as I'll say. That was a weirdly intense episode, and I was not expecting it, and I was... Oh, you apologize. Okay. DuckTales, it was a reboot of the... Yeah, the Plane's Balancing Act. Yes, Neon. Yes, that's the one. Oh my god, that episode was so bad. I mean, it was great. It was amazing, but it was, like, bad for me. I was like... That was stressful. That was, like, that was the most stressful episode. DuckTales is a reboot of, Huey, Dewey, and Louie's exploits in what is it? No, not quite Ghost Boy. He's just... Okay, real fast. I know it's a horrible event that has happened. It's always been weird to me that it's also the event that we are just able to like make fun of, like like steel beams don't, like gasoline can't melt steel. Okay, we're not talking about this. But no, I get you. Sometimes we go blue. Sometimes we can go dark. Sometimes it's okay. I'm just not expecting it. Like, I didn't expect the drama in that episode of DuckTales. DuckTales is kind of like it's a reboot of the original DuckTales. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Scrooge McDuck, relatives of Donald Duck. Hey, Rua, hey! This is a weird stream to bump into, but yo, how are you, Rua? How you doing? We're talking about DuckTales, or just cartoons in general, I guess. Which is not a... DuckTales, really? Yes, you're... Yeah. It's hard to explain... Okay, think about it like this, Ghost. It's... Adventures with Donald's relatives. Donald Duck's relatives, that's all. DuckTales. It's it was a fun show. It was like very... It was very much kind of taking inspirations from the Donald Duck comics. Okay, I was, to be honest, sorry, Neon, I was like, what, like, I was like kind of wondering, I know your name from somewhere. I just don't remember who streamed, because I feel like I've been running into the same 5 people in every stream, and I don't know how to. Thank you for the redeem. Thank you. I needed it. Okay, sorry. Okay, Ruat, thank you. Thank you for the posture check. Oh. Yeah, it's an odd concept, but it is very much like fun adventures with Donald Duck and his family. You get around. Sorry, I it's been hard to keep track of everyone because thank you for the posture check, Ghost. Oh my back cracked. Dion really does. Because I know that I've seen Turtle in basically every stream I've been on recently, and I don't know how. And I know Dasai tends to be everywhere as well. And I'm just like, how do we just end up meeting like this? Surely the VTuber sphere is like bigger than this. But yeah. Your times are good for Turtle. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm always on... Yeah, I haven't seen Dasai in a while though, so who knows? But yeah. It's cool to see you guys around. And now I'm just thinking of all the good cartoons that I've been watching. I like anime a fair amount. Sometimes it's nice to see other cultures' animation. Be they, you know, a Western or Eastern. Ba 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 ba. Gravity Falls is genuinely so top tier. Oh my god. Okay, maybe now is the time to talk about Gravity Falls. Oh my god, where do I even start with Gravity Falls? You apologize, streamer friend, if this is rather sudden. You had to point out how well my voice fits my model thing. Thank you, Ghost. I think that's the first time I've gotten that compliment. You really want to watch Steven Universe, though? You've heard very good things about it. I love Steven Universe. I know... Does, though? Thank you, Rua. I don't know. I guess I don't... I guess because the compliment is basically, your voice suits your face, and I'm not sure... You start with the book and the nerd? What? Start with the book and the nerd. Oh, you're right. That's where we start. Okay. I'll talk about Steven Universe after this, but first... Oh, man. I don't... What is there more to say about Dipper, though? I feel like I... Sorry, I was gonna get into, like... I was gonna talk about Pacifica, like, just kind of on reflex because you brought up Dipper, but that's... I don't know. You enjoy Steven Universe as well, friend. Sadly, you aren't the biggest fan of Steven himself. Okay, I really like the fact that... Sorry, we're skipping back to Steven Universe. I really like the fact that Steven is, like, a very, like, controversial character, as well as Rose. Because we'll save this for later, but I actually do like Steven and Rose a lot, but more so as the series went on. Have you seen the Guide to Unexplained Mystery mini episodes? I did. That one with the island as a face, as a head, terrified me. Pacifica should have been used more as a changed person. She should have. I like how underutilized she was, because I feel like that kind of gave more I feel like that made it way more exciting whenever she was in the episode. Oh, dude, don't talk about that. I was not a big fan of shipping in that show until Pacifica became a weirdly good fit with Dipper. Not that shipping was really a big thing in that show to begin with. There's no one really there, right? Trent, like, I feel like they didn't really have any other kids their age that were like serious contenders for any amount of shipping, right? I'm not making that up, right? Like, was it only was? I guess so. All right, let's see. Dipper was a character I thought would get on my nerves the entire time, and he kind of did sometimes, but I don't know. Mabel had literally had episodes dedicated to shipping. You're right, but like, didn't she get paired up with like Boys of the Week? Do you apologize, but if you come off as rude here, though, you believe the only kind of shipping that should be done in shows is shipping the shippers to the underworld. Yeah, that's a fair point, boy. Ghost boy, sorry. Cupid. Oh, right. How did I forget Giffany? How could I forget Giffany? I forgot about the Love God too. Cupid. Sorry, my memories of Gravity Falls are like so gone at this point. Sorry, I'm sorry, Ghost. My mind is not thinking. My mind is not well right now. If I type in GIF, you guys think it's okay to type in Giffany on Google search? Is that okay? Have we? Yeah, for real, you get me. No worries at all. Simply found it somewhat comedic. It's been so long. All right, I have typed in Giffany on Google image search. We are okay. We are a-okay. Fun fact: the person who designed Giffany, as well as the fighting game that Dipper played, was the same artist who worked on the Scott Pilgrim video game. I remember being very excited. I think you'd find more. I choked on my spit. Hold on. You know, let me type in Bill Cipher right now. I'm typing in right now. They did have the joke of the series with the Snatcher. I forgot about that. There it is. Also, Scott Pilgrim, let's go. I never... Okay, here's my biggest shame. I've never actually read the Scott Pilgrim comics, like, front to back. Ron Flowers is a terrible person, but also queen. I mean, that applies to most of them, most of those characters. Okay, my... You'd think I would watch... God is also terrible. Okay, that brings us back to Steven Universe in a weird way, because it's like... Well, I'll bite my tongue. I feel like the entire thing about Steven Universe is people aren't perfect, and sometimes that goes beyond, like, people being sometimes mean, right? Like, I don't know. I really like characters that you think are, like, irredeemable, or, like, things like that. Like, where, like, morality, or, like, just, they're what's the word? I really like when fandoms can like argue about how good versus how bad versus how redeemable someone is, because I feel like that's like usually it's a sign of bad writing. Yeah, you don't think the people in Scott Pilgrim are irredeemable? They're just very human. Yeah, like they're like they are they're in real life people. They like in real life they'd be asshole people to know. Yeah, the mental breakdown makes no sense though. Steven can fix anything. That's fair. Like I don't know. Like I really enjoy it when. Okay, so one of my favorite games is Valhalla, the the bartending game. And the thing about that game is that when I play it, I don't feel like I'm reading other people's characters. Like I'm not reading someone's thoughts that are being telegraphed via a character in their own fiction that they're writing. I am I am especially not redeemable when they get turned into pocket change. Dude, imagine if someone killed you and you were like worth $1.50. Like what is that supposed to say? Fun fact, the author of Scott Pilgrim, I don't remember if it was recently or like in the past, but they had said that when that happened, they don't get like killed. They just get teleported back to they get killed or they get teleported back to their home, their quote unquote save point. Wink wink, nudge nudge. It says he still need like 250 per bus ticket. That's fair. Um Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. The mental breakdown makes sense though. Steven can fix anything. You're right, you're right. You're completely right. Yo, Vfred, hey, we're talking about cartoons. How you doing? Uh, I... Hmm. Okay, can I be honest with you guys? And cartoons like Attack on Titan, no, like cartoons, like Cartoon Fridays. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I we were talking about aching. Um, I never finished Adventure Time. I dropped Adventure Time like in the middle of Adventure Time for like the pettiest of reasons. I think I talked about this before. But I really liked Flame Princess. Like not even about shipping, not even about shipping. Just I liked Flame Princess as a person because I thought they had a cute voice and were cool. Like they were cool. So, when the inevitable happened, I just dropped the series. Is that petty? Did I ever come back to it? Occasionally. Did I ever stick with it again? Well, I don't know. I feel like a lot of good episodes happened after it, and I just kind of missed them. But I never, like... I feel like... Did I have a crush on Flame Princess? No, I just like the voice. That voice actress, is kind of one of my favorites, even though I barely watch anything she's in. I just think they have a really cute voice. Let's see, who else were they? I butchered Flame Princess. Flame Princess becomes Rap God. I have seen that, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked Flame Princess because I felt like he was. Because here's the thing, Bubblegum was like, that was the transition from like all of the characters, like Bubblegum being like kind of your typical classic princess, or somewhat smart but very friendly, to like she's hiding so many secrets, guys. We can't trust her. It's like that was a weird transition for me. And that was also when Adventure Time started becoming less about the adventures and more about like, character growth and, you know, if, kind of thinking inwardly, like a lot of examinations of the self, which in theory I would like, but at the time I was younger and more into the whole adventure part of Adventure Time. So I was kind of getting a bit bummed that, oh, Finn and Jake aren't going on an adventure today. They're just going to talk about the universe and death. And, that's cool. I'd like that now. But when I was younger, I was just like, couldn't we be doing this also on an adventure? I don't know. Sometimes I think about going back to it just to get the full experience. Like the Simon Petrikov episodes were always really fun. Well, quote unquote fun. They were cool. I hate myself for that. Jessica the show. I've never been able to like really think about how to pronounce his name. Who else did they voice? They were Maggie on the Buzz on Maggie. That's kind of where I first remember hearing them. If you had to pick a favorite episode from what I've seen of Adventure Time, oh, that's a hard one. The episode where Flame Princess and Finn go on an adventure, and it's very like D&D like, with kind of Finn trying to teach, trying to get her into this hobby that she's not super into, but she's tolerating it because they're a couple and they have to get she wants to understand him a bit better. I thought that was really cute. Another episode, Simon Petrikov episodes are obviously really good. Good reveal. Some of the later ones, like Ice King coming to see, he wants to find all the keys, she just wants to burn it all. It's like, I don't know. That was like my honeymoon with the show. Like, because that was like, I guess, this is what I've always wanted. A character being in a relationship and actually showing that relationship in a realistic fashion. And maybe that was the monkey's paw, because what happened with Flame Princess and Finn was probably the most realistic thing of a young romance. But it still hurts. He was getting super pushy, kind of going about things in a weird way because it made him excited. And, she was hurt in the process. Like, in hindsight, it's a really good commentary on, like, romance and young love and the follies of such things, but, dude, I just wanted Flame Princess to be happy. Finn, why'd you gotta do that to her? She was Lexi Bunny in Lunatics Unleashed. She was Melina in The Emperor's New School. Flame Princess. Oh, she was Giffany in Gravity Falls. See? There you go. the vocal crush lingers. Finn's an idiot. Finn is an idiot. It used to be charming, and then it became actually detrimental. I I have seen episodes with Flame Princess and Finn. You know, I stuck around until like the very first time they hung out together after that. And oh, I hated Finn so much because he was, you know, it was her dealing with her dad, and she was very much trying to deal with her dad. And he was just like, hey, you ever think about getting together again? And I hated him so much. But then I saw an episode recently where like they talk again and he genuinely apologizes, and I don't know, that was cathartic. He helped repair a truck for a long while, only to take 10 seconds to crash into a monster and blow it up. I mean, that's just tabletop roleplay right there. But yeah, the voice of Flame Princess was also Giffany, so I am justified in liking that voice. Sorry, what am I trying to justify here? Anyway. Oh, they were also Olette from Kingdom Hearts 2, right? Like, you know, the orange girl. You guys remember Olette, right? Most important Kingdom Hearts character. She's not wearing orange anymore, what? He's not wearing, like, the floral print. How's that justified if you forgot about Giffany to begin with? Don't call me out like that, Neon. Ow. But fair. I had a big crush on Olette, too. Does she have braids, or does her hair just, like, fall to the sides? Okay, it just falls to the sides. I feel like liking Olette is like a weird thing because I don't think she did anything in the end. Like those three kind of just existed. They were kind of barely involved with the plot. Because, you know, spoilers for a game older than some adults. But you know, we were hanging out with the fake ones. We weren't really talking to Painter, Pence, and Olette. They weren't real. Except kind of. It's complicated. Oh, she was also in Demon Slayer recently. That's interesting. Ooh. Never mind, she wasn't in Demon Slayer for long. Whoopsie. Oh, okay. Any animated crushes? You're about to pass out. You think you need to call it there? Yeah, that's fine, Neon. Thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure talking cartoons. I usually never get to talk about cartoons. But thank you for indulging me. I wish you sweet dreams. You'd stay for another minute? Are you gonna dump your crush and then dip Raven from Teen Titans? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't get the Raven thing until I was older. I don't know why. I don't know what was wrong with me as a kid. I honestly don't. But that's a good one. That's a respectable choice. Like, it wasn't even like I was a Starfire person. I think I just did not, like, think about the Teen Titans as anything other than my friendly neighborhood superheroes. No, wait, did I like Terra? I must have liked her from her first episode, and then after that, because after that was weird. No, I don't think I like Terra because if a character was already in a relationship or like implied, I would kind of back off because it was like a weird thing in my mind of just like I can't be thinking of Beast Boy's girl like that. Oh, and Hawkeye from Avengers Assemble. Ooh, how do you look in that? That's not a bad looking Hawkeye. Non-costume Hawkeye is that's why that non-costume Hawkeye is hot as fuck. I mean, a hit would also be it's Hawkeye. A bullseye is pretty good too. Isn't that? That reminds me, I need to read the comic. That one popular run about Hawkeye. Can't remember the name, but it's basically him, current Hawkeye, and Dog. Oh, no, you're completely right. Like, casual Hawkeye. Pretty good. This is also telling me I should probably watch a lot more of the Marvel cartoons. Marvel's Avengers Assemble, especially. Anyway, I will let you go to bed now, Neon. But thank you for coming. Always fun talking about like stuff I tend to not talk about, like comics and cartoons. Ugh. This was supposed to be a working stream. I got some work done. Not that I can show you guys yet, but just know, rest. Gotta be up in 6 hours to walk your nieces to school. Thank you for coming, Neon. I trust you will get them to school intact. Without a scratch. That's, I feel like that implies something like bad could potentially happen, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Oh, guys, I'm kind of proud of what I've done today. Not talk about cartoons. Like the work I've actually gotten to get done. Thank you for subbing, Neon. It's been a pleasure. I hope you get some rest. Who is he? Hey, Turtle, how are you doing? Neon? Is that who you're asking about? He's one of my subscribers, clearly. Oh, me? I'm your boy, Soren Gaster. Just hanging out on the train, doing some work on a tablet that you guys can't see. Oh, you're vibing on the train, I see. bow. Ba ba da ba ba bow. Ba da ba ba bow ba bow. Lots of confusion going on. Really? Is there? I don't know, like I'm never really mentally prepared for any of these streams, but I'm just hanging out now. I did some work earlier today. Earlier in the stream even, but I think I'm winding down now. I think I'm getting tired, getting sleepy, or just kind of hanging out. I will show you guys what I'm working on in good time, but I want to keep it kind of on the down low for now. You guys catch my drift. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Writing my YouTube video essay? Or drawing? Yeah, I'm drawing. I'm doing some art, let's say. Pixar art? Not quite. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, let's say. Thighs? No. You are asking the wrong person about thighs, let me tell you. I am 5'1", my friend. Great Uncle Barry. Am I 5'1"? No, am I 5 foot? No, I'm 5. That's the thing, I thought I was 5'1", until a friend who was only 5, like, I finally met in person at some point, and we were just like measuring ourselves next to each other, and she was just like, I'm taller than you. And I had lost the inch that I thought I had. Like, okay, here's the thing. I don't actually get super offended about being short. I like being short. But it was in that moment that I had lost something that I thought I had. And, like, I had an edge. Like, at least I'm taller than you. And, you know, that ended up not being true. And I don't know. Finding out that you are not the height that you have been saying for years sucks. But whatever. Now I'm an even number. 5'1", what is that? That's an odd number. 5? Perfectly okay. You're lagging on the train. You'll see me later. I hope so, Turtle. Have fun on your train. Speaking of lag train, though, I want to cover that song at some point. One might even say this is the only reason that is the only reason this overlay exists. Have a safe trip, Turtle. Though I might actually call it here, if you guys will let me. I mean, sorry, that sounded probably really aggressive. If you guys will allow. A song cover? One of these days, V-Frit. I still need to get better at singing. Because I feel like I sound good until I listen back to the playback. And it's just like, eh. Maybe not tomorrow, but someday. Anyway. Yeah, of the things that I've been working on, obviously there's Kid Icarus's thumbnail, there's Final Fantasy IX's thumbnail. I'm making thumbnails because I want to put them on YouTube, and I know I can wait after, but why not just take care of both of them both at the same time? It also makes her an attractive image on the actual Twitter posts, so might as well. I also want to get better at art, so why not start drawing again? Do you ever draw and then you realize what your influences have been, like over the last few dozens of years, I guess? So I look at my style, and it is very like mid 2000s, like JRPG DS game looking. Yeah, like your influence. Like I look at my art style sometimes, and I'm very much like obviously taking influence from what is it? What is her name? Like they're hold on. Riviera. Who did the art for Riviera? The Promised Land. Like the PSP remake. Like if you look at Riviera, the Promised Land, Shinichi Ito. That's them. Artist. No. Not the original artist. That's the game designer. Sunaho Tobe? There it is. Like, I feel like whenever I draw more soft, like, it always just ends up looking kind of more like their style. Or at the very least, that's what I want to go for. Though I feel like I never get that soft. I'm always a bit more harder edged with my pen, I guess. I like a lot of, like, primary colors and stuff. Or soft palettes. Either primary, like, bright colors or, like, very soft pastels. There was a long period of time where I wanted to draw, like, a Nomura. But then I realized, no. Nothing against Nomura, just, I don't know. I feel like I didn't really have, I feel like I didn't really have any attachment to any of Nomura's prior works. I know about drawing styles, but, modeling styles. I feel like when it comes to modeling styles, the only modeling style I super recognize are, like, we gotta save polygons because we're on the 3DS, and whatever ArcSys is working on at any given point. I mean, whatever. It's cliche to say this at this point, but I love what ArcSys does with their sprite work. But it's, obviously that's what they were originally known for, but also their modeling. I watched that game development talk that what is that convention called again? Let's see. Oh, what was the what is what is it called? The game development, oh my god. No. GDC, Game Developers Conference. I've watched that talk that they did between or with about Guilty Gear Zerd's art style over and over again. I love that talk. Uh, it's a weird thing too because I thought Zerd looked really good at the time, so I was kind of worried when Strive was going for more of a a detailed art style. I thought whenever things kind of go more detailed, they kind of lose. It's a lot more spending time and effort on something as opposed to just kind of making something a bit more simple and sticking with it so you can polish the other aspects. But dude, Strive looks really good. Strive looks amazing. Somehow even better than Zerd, but Zerd's also like super old at that point. Xrd, sorry. I want to get good at modeling, but I feel like when I tried... First of all, I'm bad at thinking about things in 3D space. I mean, just look at my hair. What does the back of my head look like? I don't know. I could not tell you. When I gel it up, I never look back there. It's all about silhouettes, guys. A good silhouette. It's all you need to stand out in a crowd. But yeah, no idea what the back of my head looks like. So, I don't know, whenever I see people who can do modeling... Same. Oh, Vfrit, one day our hairstyles will make sense. I promise you this. But it's fine. But yeah, when I see people who can model, I stare in awe because I am obviously impressed, but I also don't understand witchcraft. No matter how much my parents tried. Maybe one day I'll try to get back into Blender and like try modeling something for realsies. But I feel like what actually gets me is a low poly models and like texture work, because I really like the little inside baseball you need to learn to like get that to work pretty well. Like, I know a lot of people are chasing after the Mega Man Legends art style nowadays. I still think it holds up. The little tricks they did to make the anime art style come to life with so little resources. Amazing. I love little tricks like that. I had a friend who, I'm not friends with anymore, but not because of this, because that would be really petty. But also maybe kind of, I don't know, maybe it's kind of for the best. But when The Last of Us came out, they were so giddy about telling me like, look, this is the future of video games. You see the Joel's bag, you see the zipper? They modeled every single one of those zips, like the little chains on that bag. They did not just make it a texture, it is an actual model. They modeled everything on that bag. And that's impressive. But I feel like... Oh my god, the detail on this pouch. That's not that far from what they said, actually. But I feel like when I was there talking to me, I was just like... Okay... that's impressive, but I don't know. Couldn't they be spending that time on something else? Like making the gameplay not feel like just Uncharted, but with slightly more violence? I have weird thoughts on The Last of Us. I like it. I liked it. I very much liked it. But I feel like that was still a weird point in like Naughty Dog's kind of entire thing of like, we want to make video games more movie-like, but also like, we're the guys who made Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, some game studios focus way too much on details. I love Final Fantasy XIV, but dude, Square has such a problem. It like we've all heard the whole thing about like base Final Fantasy XIV back when it first launched. Flower vases that had as much polygons as characters. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this while I am unaffiliated with anyone because I don't want to get anyone in trouble in the future. Yeah, that was the whole thing. Early Final Fantasy XIV had a lot of geometry that took more tries, if not more, like as much tries, or if not more, than player characters. Which is why that game was so horribly unoptimized. But yeah, I love a lot of Square Enix's games. I feel like they make a lot of business decisions I am not a fan of. Like, at all. Like, how they treat game development. How they kind of look at storytelling in video games nowadays. 14 is exempt from this, I will say. 14, Yoshi P and his team kind of run that game separately from Square to the point where I'm sad that they are still tied to that greater entity. But you know, what can you do? You need to make money. But yeah, I don't know. Square makes a lot of choices in games that I'm not a fan of. Like, at all. But, you know, what can you do? They're the RPG people, and they still make some pretty damn good ones. Sometimes. And The Quiet Man, never forget. Never forget The Quiet Man. Or you know, forget it. I can't judge you. I don't control you. Ugh. Quiet Man was the coolest game. It's so nice, you gotta play it twice. Oh man. The fact that The Quiet Man was is an old game at this point is so weird to me. Like, not super old, of course. It's not like generations, but it's like it's weird that years have passed since that game, because I feel like that was just like a weird modern oddity. Man. Yeah. I guess I have problems with Square Enix. They butchered my boy. You guys saw what they did to Crystal Chronicles. I can't trust them anymore. Ugh. Still leaves a sour taste on my tongue. I guess we should probably end it there. With Square Enix bashing. Except not really. I feel like they have a lot of embarrassments that they're still living down. Spirits Within. A Realm Reborn. No, not A Realm Reborn. Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 15. That's maybe a bit too harsh. I know people like 15. Hell, I probably would like 15 if I actually got around to playing it. I've always said RPGs are just like road trips that you take with fun party members. I can't blame them for making that the premise of this game. But also streaming Final Fantasy 15, like, that might destroy my computer. My computer's not that new, guys. We'll see. Maybe I'll play the Pocket Edition. That'd be really funny. That'd be actually the most hilarious thing if I did that. I did not think that this would be like a 3-hour stream. Yo, what are the chances you made it home before the end of Soren stream? Nuts. Oh, you just made it right on time, Turtle. We are getting close to ending right now, actually. Zam. Zam? Are you like a ninja? Are we Disgaea 2 up in here? You picked him up. Does Rua say Zam? I don't think I've ever heard her say that. On occasion. Alright, that's another thing to be on the lookout for then. Yeah, sorry guys that my schedule is kind of all over the place right now, and has always been. I've never been one for schedules. I've never been able to really keep to a schedule, really. A plan. Need to take a call, BRB? No problem. I'll probably not be here when you get back. But anyway, I would just like to say thank you guys for stopping by at your regularly unscheduled save point. Welcome back. Right in time for the end. Anyway, Sneezy Sanji. Yeah, congrats to Lazulite. 1 year. Sorry, Turtle, you missed my whole speech about watching Lazulite in my time of need when I was very depressed. Yeah, Pog, you pick up any merch? No, unfortunately not. I did see that. Yeah, 1 year already, right? It was around Lazulite debut, yeah. Oh, you have a story, okay? Sure, we can stay around. Only first stream with Link's Awakening. I remember that. I remember that because, like, it was such a weird game for her to stream because, you know, first thing first. And also, I think her and Kiara bonded over that because, like, they were the first people to, like... He was just like, yeah, she plays games that I don't... that a lot of others don't really play. That's your story. Okay, we'll end it one more time with this. I was not really in a good place when Lazulite debuted. Like, it was actually kind of really bad, if we're being honest. And it was right before, well, I guess this was separated by a few weeks or months, but it was right before Pomu had to go on hiatus because of her health, right? Her surgery. I think she's talked about this, so I don't feel bad bringing it up again. But yeah, I was probably not in the best state of mind. Nothing like super serious, just like really like a really depressive rut that made me not want to get up in the morning. But then, I, wanted to watch someone, so I just watched Pomu's stream, and it's like, here I was kind of feeling sad and depressed, but here Pomu was kind of like, having to go to the hospital and have a really scary surgery. Well, most surgeries are scary, I guess. And like kind of be out of commission for a few weeks, and facing that, she was still kind of smiling, laughing, and the most important thing, working. Like putting a show on for people who, were cheering for her. Yo, Coaster, Joester. Goddamn, bless Pomo. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like a parasocial thing or like a waifu thing, but I do really credit Pomu with kind of bringing me out of that rut and making me want to actually do something. How you doing? We're just talking. I was about to wrap up stream, but I guess I'm talking about Lazulite now. Yeah, you're bad. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's why I'm always gonna be grateful to Pomu specifically. I like Pinana. I like Alira. They're great, and I have fun memories of both of them, and can talk and watch hours of their streams, like dozens. But and I don't even really watch a lot of Pomu nowadays, just because I'm busy doing my own thing. But I'm always gonna be grateful. I'm always gonna be kind of grateful to her for kind of showing me what idols can actually do. I know she's probably does not consider herself an idol, but when she was like singing her heart out to all of those people a few days prior to her surgery, she was the closest thing I've had to like an idol in my mind. I think they're all great, but Pomu has a special place. Pomu's definitely idol material, definitely. Like, and well deserved. She knows the idol industry. She knows idol fandom. She knows how to mix. She's been on both sides. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, if I ever met Pomu, like, I don't know what I'd do. Like I'd be thankful, embracing your Pomu. We're all Pomu. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do, like what I'd say. Like, he's saying, hey, your music really inspired me and made me want to keep on going. Like, is that a weird thing to say? I don't know. Like, again, I don't mean this in like an Oshi way or like a waifu way or like anything of that. I literally just mean this as in like, I really respect you because you pulled me out of a weird place, even though you were just kind of doing your own thing. If anything, you definitely just thank them for their work. That's fair. Yeah. I wish I could send them a marshmallow, but, I think none of them are taking any of those anymore because of weirdos. This is why we can't have nice things. One of these days, I'm gonna have a stream where I don't get all sappy. Very cute. No. I'm just talking from, the heart here. Shooting my... Just shooting my straight thoughts. Like, just saying whatever's on my mind. It's late. Don't do this to me, V, for it. No. Wait, did I actually say no? Ugh. Uh... Yeah, I don't know. I get super emotional when I talk about Niji Sanji, and in weird ways because it's like, that they were who I watched in 2020. Freaking been cat ears. I can't even. I'm not even. Am I a cat-like person? I don't know. I've always envisioned myself as like a dog. Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to get nostalgic about something like Niji Sanji because like I've probably been watching them for a few years at this point, but I wouldn't really consider that a nostalgic thing. But no, like I get weirdly. I look upon my time in the last few years and I'm just like, I've watched a lot of their content. EN, JP, ID, IN sometimes. KR, Virtual Real. Like, I don't know. I think in the world of media where everything moves so fast, it feels just as quick to get nostalgic. I guess I'm just getting used to that. You're totally right though, Turtle. That is like... That is so true. I want to pin that on my chat and like print it out. Frame it. That like hurts to think about, but no, you're right. Man. Well, I'm glad I get to talk about Nichi Sanji. Oh. I'm glad I get to talk about it to a lot of people who understand where I'm coming from, as well as people who are fans of Nichi Sanji in general. Or VTubers in general, you know? Like, for a long time I felt like I was just kind of like talking at friends about it, about VTubers, about the industry and stuff like that. And now I feel like people actually understand what I'm saying and don't look down on me for talking about it. The VTubers are neat. I mean, I'd hope so. You agree? Some of us we might be a bit biased, but I think VTubers are pretty good. VTubers are a net positive. All right, I got a way to end this. I got a way to end this. I know how to end this. Um. Thank you for giving you chat time. Plus, no problem. Um. Gonna end a bit more with. Gonna talk a bit more, but gonna end it with this, I guess. I think because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, with kind of more male VTubers kind of entering the scene, like more corporate male VTubers entering the scene, I guess, right? Luxium, Noctix, Holostars, Ian eventually. But I don't really think I see myself as someone who can pull in a crowd by like, you know, like playing into the like, I'm not someone who can pull off fan service, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I can't pull off ASMR. I can't pull off I can't pull off you know, being hot, sexy. I just don't think I can. But I think now I can actually point out what I think my strengths are. If that is not too if that is not inflating my hubris too much, if you guys will allow me. I think I just like talking. I think I just like creating an atmosphere for you guys to hang out in. You know, kind of helping that along. Hubris inflated. And I do talk about myself a lot. I think that's like, I think that's pretty obvious at this point. You definitely enjoy your atmosphere for the save point. Thank you, Turtle. I was kind of debating on whether or not like calling them save points would actually add anything to it, but the fact that people remember the name is something, I guess. Kind of leads to the atmosphere. That's good. I don't know. Talking about your own strengths is really weird to do because you're analyzing yourself as basically a product sometimes, you know? But, and you know, while I can't really make content or like appease people who like to see, you know, hot guys do hot things, or you know, cute guys do cute things, or like that. I don't know. Like, that's not my appeal. I think my appeal is just, I mean, okay. Everyone likes, every VTuber, every streamer out there always tries to put their the best version of themselves out there. So I will never look down on someone for, you know, playing into what their fan base wants from them, right? Like, if you want to say, like, really suggestive things on camera, that's fine. That's what you are, or that's who you are. But it's not, well, sorry. That is what you decide to put out there. That is what people expect from you. But that is not necessarily who you are as a person. At least that's not who you are. That is not what you are all the time. I don't know if I have the strength to do that. Maybe. I do put out some voice clips, but that's more of me having fun than anything else. But I don't know. I like talking about things I like. I like gushing about all the dumb things I've never been able to talk to with anyone. Video games, cartoons, anime, you name it. And I don't know. Like, sometimes I wonder, right? Like, what if I did get big? What if I did have a following that would clip every time I sneezed? That would like look over every interaction I had with any of my friends and draw really hot and heavy fan art about our interactions together. Like, I think about that sometimes and I'm just like, I don't know how I would function. Like, how would I react? And you know, Hubris detected. I guess you're right. Sorry. You're totally right, Beaver. You're totally right. You're totally right. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes sometimes I do think about that and like having so many eyes on someone. It's a completely different world. And I kind of like the world I'm living in right now. It's all gradual community growth, and you'll grow along with it. Oh yeah, I'm not saying it won't happen, or I'm not saying that I would not be grateful. I'm just saying like I don't I don't know how that would work for me. For like I don't know. I feel like corporate or even just bigger VTubers are quite a different world in terms of the community they've fostered. I mean, it's always been there. Male or female VTubers with a large audience are obviously going to have a lot of people like at their beck and call. Um, you know, be they dry or thirsty. But it's a strange thought. Like if all of you guys were basically like, God, he sounds so nice and cute, and like I don't know how I deal with that. That'd be weird, or would it? I don't know. Is that just something I get used to, or is that something that like I could sound like anything, and I feel like most people would go that way. I don't know. You could do some hot auras. Embrace the cuteness. I guess that's my strong point, but that's also I don't know if that's my strong point or just the fact that I'm 5 foot nothing. Become the cringe. I am the cringe. You thought the cringe died? You thought that died in the 2010s? I am the cringe. I don't even know if cringe bothers me anymore. Hold your horses there. I feel no shame anymore, turtle. I can say anything I want. VTubers are immune to cringe. We're anime boys and girls and everything else. What are you talking about? We're just having a fun time. What's wrong with this? Moving your head like this side to side? A perfectly normal human motion that we all do in our daily life. Oh, that actually like... Oh, baby. That like... feels good sometimes, actually. Unwinds the neck real good. Mmm. Definitely recommend it. Wish you could do that and you break your neck every single time. Ah. Well, I just did, so. Yeah, I guess I could not recommend it. It's actually kind of dangerous if you do that fast, right? Like you could actually like tear something, I think. Okay, maybe not from that. But, well, if you're like being reckless, I guess. My job right now as a VTuber is to make sure everyone's having a good time and provide a nice, relaxing environment for everyone to listen to. Maybe not on the main tab, but on second tab on the second monitor while you're playing Minecraft or Apex or whatever. Whenever you move your VTuber model, you always imagine what it looks like if it was without the model, just waving your head around. What do you mean? I'm actually moving my head around. What are you talking about? I am me. I am Soren Gasser, bouncer of the Crimson Sacrifice, on this train. Very much in real life. But yeah, I'll make that my goal for now. Yeah, I'm not really the loud, reactionary type. Sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not really good with my words. I can barely talk to people. I barely have collabs. But if I can make you guys... If I am, like, your guys' second monitor bitch, I'm completely fine with that. I collab. I get awkward with other people. Like, I feel like my collab worked with VFrit because we were playing Monster Hunter and I could talk about Monster Hunter forever. Goddamn side monitor. What I am. Don't lie. What are you guys playing right now? Slime Rancher? Apex? Elden Ring? How's that boss going? Going good? Let me look. Blender? Bring me up to your model. I want to see. Sitting on mobile, please. Fair. It's literally accepting this as a save point. This does work out for you specifically, Turtle. I feel like you always get to these, like, in the middle of a trip. Like a trip home or to work. So I'm glad this is applicable to at least one of you guys. Okay. But with that, I think we should finally wrap this up. Save our progress and head on back to our lives. We were gonna end it so well. God damn. This is ending it well. Sure. Sure it is. Sorry. I'm like recovering from that right now. It's a good thing we saved. Alright. Thank you guys for coming. Whether you stayed for the entire thing or popped in to say hi. I always appreciate seeing you guys and your colorful names in this chat box. Saves away the loneliness. The loneliness of the big city. Red, gray. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or the day after or when I'll stream again. I'll probably play a stream. I don't like doing save points. I don't like saving multiple times over again. Like, saving right after you've saved is... that's a bit paranoid for me. But we'll see. I've been Soren Caster. And until next time, I've got to bounce. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.